Even Tucker Carlson and an ex-CIA guy are laughing at them.
Of course.
Okay, so let's watch.
No matter who gets elected, the Epstein videos remain secret.
Wait, what are you talking about? I thought we could all sleep well at night now knowing that Epstein legitimately killed himself, right?
Tucker Carlson, it's so comical that Dan Bongino and Kash Patel are saying that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. You remember that? I'll show you.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been...
Just look his eyes when he said, they have a right to, I mean, that...
Body language experts have already been up and down this video, and they're both lying.
Yeah.
In the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing. You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
They're blinking.
You've seen the whole file. What is he talking about?
You saw the file that was
killing himself?
The file about that was put together by the people who were covering up that he was murdered by the Mossad and probably people inside the FBI and the CIA. You mean that file?
Jimmy, it's time for my favorite game show. Mind control or blackmail? What is it?
What? That's right. That's a great game. We should actually do that.
Yeah, Bongino's mind control, Kash Patel's blackmail. That's my bet. That's my bet on the.
We should do a game. That should be our game show, Kurt. And then we could shop at the festivals and right.
Well, you got to get more. The coming up with examples is the hard part.
Oh, they're all. What do you mean? They're everywhere. Are you kidding me? You just people.
Well, where I don't know which one. Usually, I'm like, oh, that's blackmail.
No,
but Bongino, yeah.
But we'll have. But of course, you'll know, and I'll know. But then we have a panel, and they won't know. They'll just be regular idiots. You know what I mean? When I say that, I mean like cable news hosts.
I thought of it as a game within a game show, like like Plinko or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me. I mean So I guess Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, are you going to go after the guards who were sleeping, or whoever was in charge of the cameras? No, they're not doing that. The last time a witness this important managed to kill himself in custody was Herman Goring. Okay.
No one can figure it out how he did it.
Hey, this wouldn't be connected somehow to how you both gargled Israel's balls before you got appointed, would it? I mean, whew.
Remember those videos?
So here is
Kash Patel and Dan. Kash Patel's was people need to wake up and start supporting Israel. It was right after you played the other video of him being great, what he said.
And by the way, I love Maria Bartiromo's pushback. Yeah, that is hard work.
Yeah.
Well, here,
what's her show called? Limited Hangout.
So I just wanted, the point of this segment is to show that even Tucker Carlson and an ex-CIA guy are laughing at them.
Of course.
Okay, so let's watch.
No matter who gets elected, the Epstein videos remain secret.
Wait, what are you talking about? I thought we could all sleep well at night now knowing that Epstein legitimately killed himself, right?
What was that?
Did that just...
You got the trademark now Tucker Carlson laugh, the over the top, right in your face, and a CIA guy's laughing at you. That's how bad you are at the FBI lying, that a CIA guy, professional liars, are laughing at you because they know it's such a bad lie job.
I wish I was laughing. I sent hate tweets late at night to both of them after I saw the video. I was so mad.
Let's watch the rest.
Yeah,
so,
was
and by the way, Tucker Carlson, his own network, tweeted this video out. Let's watch. I will play without stopping.
No matter who gets elected, the Epstein videos remain secret.
Wait, what are you talking about? I thought we could all sleep well at night now knowing that Epstein legitimately killed himself, right?
What was that?
Did that just come out?
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide.
You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself.
You weren't convinced by that?
No.
Why?
I've dug into that, and it's just so spooky. I mean, how do you charge a guy with sex trafficking when there's no end users that have been charged? Who did he traffic to?
What do you think that was?
What do I think it was?
Yeah.
I think it was a blackmail operation. What do you think it was?
I think it was a blackmail operation run by the CIA and the Israeli intel services, and probably others. You know, French intelligence always has a hand in everything, I've noticed. Probably them too. The usual darkest forces in the world colluding to make rich and powerful people obey their agenda.
That was tweeted out by his own Tucker Carlson network. That's how much he's laughing at Don Bongino. And by the way, I have no personal animus towards Don Bongino. I liked his show. I liked the show that he did, you know, and he was a real, by the way, here he is doing his show. Let me show you. So this is Don Bongino before he got to be the deputy director of the FBI. And then we're going to show you right after. So watch this.
I hate him. Look at his shirt. Look at this phony with his We the People shirt. What a jerk off.
And I apologize. I don't have who put this together. Oh, this is a bummer. Normally, I like to give credit who put this together, but I neglected. My apologies. I'll try to put it in post.
Listen, that Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, I want you. We need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
He killed himself. Again, you want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Okay.
Wow, you're a punk, Dan. Dan, you're a punk. Fuck you for your service, you punk.
Okay. I mean, hey,
I hate him.
For some reason, I'm feeling very generous towards Dan Bongino. And, you know, and put in that position, it's like, hey, if I tell the truth, they're going to do to me what they did to Jeffrey Epstein. If they could
I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Come kill me. I can't wait to tell God on you. I would do it in a heartbeat. I would betray my military oath or whatever bullshit they do. I'd betray that in a heartbeat. They traffic kids to blackmail people on behalf of Israel. You're not even going to arrest the people? Okay, protect Israel, the most precious thing there is. But you're not even going after any of the people or name a name. You saw the file. You saw names, right? Say their names, asshole.
Well, here's why he won't.
That's right. What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel.
What is number one?
I guess he did say the name, didn't he?
That's
my
it.
bad, Dan. I apologize. You said who's responsible. I didn't look.
So what's near and dear to your heart?
That's right. What cause is dear to your heart?
Cause is dear to my Israel, the defense of Israel.
That's it. But it's not just Tucker Carlson. It's Glenn Beck. It's Alex Jones. It's people who are influential in the MAGA movement. Like here's Stacey is right. She says Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have both said Epstein killed himself. It sucks, but Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are lying, and I simply don't trust them anymore.
Well, I never trusted them, but I had some hope that some of the rhetoric they said about being transparent was true. I had a little hope about that. But no, I wouldn't trust them because I saw their blather about Israel. Both of them said the most over-the-top, suck-up nonsense I've ever heard.
So, again, it's comical, right? So I can't get, I'm not pissed off at them, but MAGA is. But there's a lot, I mean, that's just a sample. There's a lot of MAGA that, well, here's one more. Here's another MAGA, Philip Anderson. He says, I'm watching clips from Kash Patel and Dan Bongino's interview. I want to sincerely apologize to all my followers for supporting Kash Patel during the confirmation hearings. This guy is a joke.
Thank you, Philip. I appreciate your apology, and I forgive you. I will never forgive Kash Patel or Dan Bongino. I hope they rot in hell.
I had
hell forever.
I actually, and I'm actually, because I'm embarrassed. I just like that guy because I used to mix it up with Russ Dobler over this. I'm like, come on, you got it.
Yeah, right. Well, Bongino I knew was a tool bag for a long time. Anybody that wears a flag shirt or a We the People shirt, that's probably just the markings of a phony. But Kash Patel sounded genuinely. He didn't come off like Vivek Pastrami came off, right?
Yeah.
He came off pretty sincere. And I was like, oh, I hope he gets confirmed. And I had that hope feeling. And he's a dude, he is worthless. They're both worthless. If you don't go get killed, do the right thing and then get killed, asshole. Because otherwise we're going to be in this system forever. Somebody's got to be a hero like Snowden. Someone's got to be a hero like Assange. None of these two punks, you're not even men.
I think Dan Bongino did some good work at his show. I did. I'm not, you know, I hope he told the truth about Ukraine. He told the truth about Russiagate. I mean, I guess it wasn't that hard. I don't know. I've told the truth about those things too, but he's more high profile. So I was glad to have him saying those things. And this is just, but this
when you do right, cool. But the thing is, the reason that scumbag was doing right is because he works for Israel. And so he needed to get in place so he could make sure Israel was protected, just like the fake Diddy trial with Janet Comey again.
So that's why
same network, by the way, all connected.
So that's why these Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino was allowed to get power was because they had the blessing of Israel. That's why
a chump,
and that's why Matt Gaetz was not allowed to have Pam Bondi's job.
He was the best of all of them, Matt Gaetz, and I didn't even, if I ever meet him, I will apologize to him because I was like, that guy's probably. I didn't really look into it. But then when I did look into it, he got done dirty because he probably would have done the right thing.
Yeah, he probably would have done the right thing. He's done the right thing when he had a lot to lose, and he stood up to the donor class, Matt Gaetz I'm speaking about. And these guys were allowed to get into the position of power because they would do exactly what they're doing right now, and they're lying at the behest of Israel. That's what this is.
If he was really passionate about Israel and defending Israel, he'd be calling for the hanging of Bibi Netanyahu. If he cared about Israel,
that's right. That's
what he would be calling for. But he's not.
Because what Netanyahu's doing right now is almost guaranteeing the end of Israel as an apartheid state.
Can't come soon enough.
Good
luck with Iran, guys.
There is now a brain drain in Israel. Their economy is taking. People are starting to put sanctions on them. They're becoming a pariah in the world when they had the sympathy of the entire world. So, and
this didn't help. These two chuckleheads lying.
Yeah.
So, you just put another nail in Israel's coffin because I wasn't like, oh, it can't just be Israel about a lot of things. Where I would have been like, come on, it's not just Israel. Now I know it's Israel. Now I know because what liars they are and how they went out of their way to protect someone with an obvious lie. That's for Israel.
And this doesn't mean that Trump isn't still lesser of a warmonger than crazy Joe Biden's administration was, because Donald Trump is trying to wash his hands of the Ukraine thing as opposed to ramping it up, which is what Joe Biden, Antony Blinken, and those people were doing, and they were really trying to start World War III. Trump is not going to do that so he was a better choice in that regard. But
he understands who goes in what bathroom, and that's your choices in America.
But I know,
but
this is, Kurt, in a sense, this is actually, just like you said, this is actually good. In a sense, if you look at it, there's a silver lining because this will help enrage the MAGA base and help them. Like when I started to tell the truth about Bernie Sanders, a lot of the progressives, they turned on me, right? And they were like, "Oh, how Jimmy Dore is a right winger." They did all that shit, and then of course they all came around to okay. It took them 5 years, but they all came around to Bernie Sanders a cuck.
That's a great point, actually, you just made.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, because I would have never, when I was Jehovah's Witness, and if you gave me some evidence-based expose about my dumb religion I was in, I would have never left.
Yeah.
It's not until it disappoints you, the thing that you thought was going to be your thing disappoints you.
Yeah.
So these guys, thank you guys for screwing Israel and the government.
So they are screwing Israel. This actually helps solidify people's disdain for the control Israel has over our government. And what they're just doing is they're lighting off fireworks so everybody could see that Israel has control of our government. And so the last people that MAGA ever thought would do this was Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. And here they are doing it. So again, it's not just me. It's not me. It's Tucker Carlson and that Sean Ryan, the ex-CIA guy, Mr. Limited Hangout himself. They're laughing in their faces, right?
Yeah.
Glenn Beck. Alex Jones is, wait till I show you the next clip. Alex Jones is he's apoplectic. Oh, is that the word?
I'm right with him. I'm right with him. That's
Yeah.
exact. I want to yell. Yeah, actually, that's great. I want to see him yell.
Yeah.
Because dude, I almost lost my mind. I'm on the shitter watching this, and I'm like, the rage that built up me watching these two lie like that.
Uh-huh.
But I think you're right. You're exactly right. It is a good thing in the long run.
It is a good thing in the long run. So, in fact, I will take this opportunity to say thank you to Dan Bongino and to Kash Patel. You really are unwittingly performing a great service.
Thank you for killing Israel, Dan Bongino.
So that's really what you're doing. You are now, nothing I could have thought of would have ramped up MAGA's disdain for Israel more than seeing you guys completely sell yourself out and lie for Israel over Jeffrey Epstein, especially because there's a video library of Dan Bongino saying what he just said, the exact opposite about Jeffrey Epstein. There's a video library of Kash Patel. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so they're doing
You've done more damage to Israel than Hamas, fellas, and
Yeah.
I want to thank you.
And I want to say thank you. So it's funny to me that I don't have any personal animus. It's almost like a valid, it's good. I'm glad. I honestly, I can't. I don't have any. I can't get worked up over them. I think it's actually a great thing. And so
Yeah.
I'm super sincere when I say thank you for actually doing that. If you look at it in the right way, you're doing a service to the country, because you are highlighting the control that Israel has still over Donald Trump's FBI.
You know what?
And over our country, over the Trump administration. Pam Bondi is doing the same thing. So, and by the way, all the MAGA people I know are not on board with Israel, and this just makes them more not on board with Israel. It makes them, and it helps get people out of the two-party, like, oh, my party's better than your party. That kind of a thing. And it's like that. They, at the end of the day, they all work for Israel and the military-industrial complex, and they're gonna spend hundreds of billions of dollars building a dome. Now, Trump's new thing is he wants to build a dome over the United States, which is going to cost hundreds of billions. Like they have the Iron Dome over Israel.
The one that doesn't work, that the missiles will go right through?
That's exact. So it doesn't.
Nice.
Kurt, the point is it doesn't have to work. The point is that you spend the money on it, and people like Elon Musk get hundreds of billions of dollars. People like Booz Allen, people like Raytheon, they all get hundreds of billions of dollars that should be spent on the United States and on, building high-speed rail and infrastructure and schools and parks and roads and healthcare and colleges and all the stuff that China has. Instead of us doing that, they're going to spend it and give it to defense contractors. And so this is actually, so it helps, wake up people in MAGA. And so hopefully they'll stop playing the my side is better than your side and realize that we need to come together and oppose these people. I think that is actually happening a little. It's not.
You're right. You're right.
It needs to happen on a grand scale, but the Democrats are so disgusting that it's hard. It's hard to get people who maybe can even see through Kash Patel and what Trump is doing with the Iron Dome and the not sending Doge to the Pentagon. Didn't send Doge to the Pentagon. And in fact, not only that, but all the money that Doge was finding that was fraud and abuse and waste, they're not cutting it from the budget. Donald Trump and the Republicans are putting it right back into the budget. In fact, they're doing it even more, and they're adding another $160 billion on top of that. Instead of spending it on you, instead of making your life better, instead of
your money,
it's your money. And imagine if they spent that extra $160 billion on the United States. We could have everything. Our country could be as nice as China's. It could be, but they're not going to do it. Anyway, so
We're worse than China, everyone. Are you happy?
we're worse than China's communists, legit
a commie country.
commie country, and so okay, and then and of course they're not going to stay. They're on board with
Jimmy's collapsing.
They're on board with the censorship, right? They're so it's the same. So now, so people can see that the Republicans were against censorship when it came from the Democrats, but now they're for it. The Republicans are for their own version of the same thing. It's the woke right. And that's the woke right there. They're calling, just like the left called everything sexist and racist, they call everything anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
So
the tricks don't work anymore. I saw that somebody from a fan put in a super chat about it, but I watched a Jonathan Pago or Paget. He said something that I agree with a lot. This is the collapse of the foundational myth of the post-World War II rules-based order, which is, the narrative of World War II. And that's the reason old people like to watch World War II shit all the time, over and over. The last time we won a war, that's over. It's almost like George Washington and the cherry tree. It's a foundational myth about the good guys.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Hitler's bad. We all understand that. But the people that won were not good guys. They were the scum of the earth. And they've been pushing this narrative of how the good guy, the Tom Hanks narrative of how the good guys won, so they can do more Hitler shit around the world. And it's collapsing right now. And they're panicking about it. And that's why they bleat like sheep about the post-World War II order, because they're all part of it. And that's, if you're looking for the mafia who controls the world, that's those dipshits. And they're losing.
And maybe it's good that Dan Bongino. So think about this. So when they say that Epstein killed himself, what you have to also is go one step further and realize that Kash Patel and Don Bongino are actually covering up the evidence, because now they're in a position to do so. And they are. So they're covering up and honestly, I got nauseous just watching them lie about the evidence. So the evidence must be really bad. Hey, Jimmy Dore here, and yep, this is an ad, but before you tune out, ask yourself, why is China now dumping U.S. bonds, grabbing prime American farmland, and rolling out its new digital currency? Look, I hate doom talk as much as you do, but it's pretty clear China is plotting a financial Pearl Harbor that can pull the plug on the dollar and devastate your IRA and 401k savings. But President Trump just pulled a genius move, because he's letting retirement savers like you protect your life savings with gold, 100% tax-free. The one inflation-proof asset that survived the fall of currencies. And when you call the trustworthy experts at Colonial Metals Group, 888-910-1419, or visit colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show, you'll receive your free 2025 gold guide on how to bulletproof your wealth with gold. Hey, gold is at an all-time high. Plus, you can receive $7,500 in free silver. That's colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show, or call 888-910-1419. Come see us live in Los Angeles, Buffalo, Toledo, Montreal, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, London, Liverpool, Birmingham. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.